Hello, everyone. This is Ronnie, and this is Mrs. Deborah Pinson Pesos. And Chad is not here today, as either is Pete. Pete's fishing in Minnesota, Wisconsin. I forgot. Pardon me. And Chad ditched me to see a live band. So what's up, Deb? How are you?
I'm doing really well. I'm I was gonna work this evening because I have no excuses not to, because Patrick came yesterday and cleaned my shed again, cleaned the patio, cleaned the office, and then I have no reasons why I shouldn't be able to be really highly productive. So
Right.
I'm gonna open another window real quick so it doesn't bounce back and forth between us.
Okay. I'll have my other laptop, or I would have done that. Chad usually does that for me. But thank you all for just coming in and having fun with us tonight. See a bunch of different people over here in the chat. Good to see you. What's up, Bubba? Walking Picker. Parker Profits. Okay, that's a new name I haven't seen before.
Yeah, that's a new one.
Flip flops all day. That's when I moved to the Dominican Republic. I literally lived in flip flops.
That's Texas in general. Did that make us echo when I opened that?
I haven't heard an echo. I think works fine for right now.
Okay, I'm gonna grab my phone and open it on there and stuff.
So I hope everybody is well. For y'all that know, I was sick earlier this week. I am feeling a lot better. I just took my medicine, and it is nasty for whatever reason.
So what's wrong with you? You're sick?
I ate some. I got real sick last Friday and Saturday. I had some issue with I don't even know what it was. It was like diverticulitis or something like that. And he was causing such abdominal pain, really bad. But
it doesn't even sound like a real thing.
I can't even pronounce it properly. And they gave you some medicine, and it started feeling better within a day. And that's been pretty good. I mean, the only other thing I really done this week is we went to the sandwich museum. Sandwich Glass Museum.
Sandwich Glass Museum.
Yeah, they used to make glass, blown glass stuff, and they were just showing it there, and they have a guy making glass. It was a pretty fun little museum. Hang out for the day.
Sandwiches, sandwiches.
Yeah. And then what else? I don't know. I'm getting rid of my truck. My truck hasn't been driving right lately. I brought it to my mechanic friend. It's it needs a whole boatload of repairs done. It needs some things I knew about, but the front hubs need to replace. Front U-joints need to replace. The drive shaft is a little loose, which is causing the truck wanting to flip it into four-wheel drive, so it clinks every once in a while. Rear brakes, all the rear brakes need to be redone. Drums. The rear backing plates are rusted out, so the emergency brake don't work too well, so it won't pass inspection. And there's one other small issue with the rear air conditioner. And it's I ain't paid for all this. It'd be $2,000 even with my friend doing it, which is pretty cheap because Ford told me for half of that stuff $2,500.
Oh, really? Wow, that's crazy.
So, I just figured, what, I'm not throwing that much money into a 2003 truck. It's just time to get a new truck. So, gonna go to some yard sales in the morning, probably cut it off short, go to lunch, and then start looking at trucks in the afternoon.
We have a 1994 Chevrolet 1500, and we paid $3,500 for it. And if I wanted to sell it, we could sell it for the same amount of money we bought it for now, and we've had it for like 8 years.
Yeah,
Trucks like keep their value like you wouldn't believe.
I just don't want to mess with it. I just don't want to put the money into it. Because the drive shaft is fixed. There could be another problem for the clunking underneath, and it could be the transfer case, which would be it's just going to be a really big expense if that's the issue. You know, and there's no way to tell until we get the drive shaft replaced. So it's like, I'm just going to skip it and buy a newer truck. I was looking at some 2015, what do you call them? Dodge Durangos. Those actually look pretty nice. I've had good luck with Dodges. My worst vehicles have been all GM vehicles. I've had terrible luck with GM vehicles.
Love a Chevrolet. Alright. I think I'm all fixed up now. I got the tablet on, and I couldn't get it to turn off the volume on it, so but it's all fixed now.
Yeah, I'm trying to look through. I don't think I have any questions that I can answer.
I'll scroll and see what we've got in the chat.
But I mean, that's basically what I've been up to lately. I mean, last month finished on a nice flurry on eBay to actually have a really good month. I think we finished at just under 9,700, which was really good.
That's great. My month was actually really good as well, considering how little effort I've been putting into my business over the last 6 months. Like, I have just been one excuse after another when it comes to what I'm doing. And last month, my sales were up at one point. It's at like 56% over my previous 31 days. It was like crazy. So things really went up, and then they started dropping off and dropping off and dropping off because I haven't been listing. Like, if I look at my little tally book that I keep, that's why I love having my little tally book, because I can look back and see like how productive I've been. And I literally haven't listed since the 22nd of May.
I haven't listed much this month either.
The entire month of May, listen to this. The entire month of May, I listed 7, 9, 20, 28, 32 items. That's it. I listed 32 items in the month of May. That is sad. That's ridiculous. There's no reason. People should just stop watching me and listening to me because I'm apparently just bullshitting everybody.
You got an employee, too.
I know, I have an employee also.
I got family. That's why my listing has really slowed down. And, God, we haven't been to thrift stores. Like, we would take these day trips and go to, like, 8 thrift stores, 10 thrift stores. We haven't done that in, like, it's been, like, a month or more than a month. It's really weird.
Yeah, I mean, I had Patrick, but he hasn't really been here. And when he was here, what he was helping me with was sorting and getting ready for the garage sale. And then we finally did the garage sale, which was astronomically successful. I did $1,000 on one day, on a Friday. And then after that, I really didn't work. Like, my room got really full because I had went shopping, and then I wasn't listing, so it was just full, and I couldn't function in here. And when I can't function, like when I get boxed in, I get where I just don't work. I find excuses, and then I've also been just kind of dealing with some like mental lows where I'm like, I got where I was just avoiding the world, and so I just go sleep all day. So I finally got myself out of that, fortunately. And then Patrick came this week and cleaned everything, and so and we reorganized the office because that held me up, and I was trying to get him a workspace, and I got an all new desk and work area, and things got rearranged, and so really now there's just no excuse at all for me not to be working. So I was going to work tonight. Now I can't find my camera. I searched for an hour for my
I thought you were going to blame me. Uh, I use my cell phone as my camera. It works fine. I think we had a big clunky was it Canon 3 Ti, the one with the little flip out camera
Yeah.
view thing on it, and it just got too big, and my wife was complaining it was heavy, so it was like, so it was just a pain in the butt.
Yeah, mine, I honestly want a new camera. My camera's fine. It's a nice, decent, mid-range Canon. I've had it for a couple years. My husband got it for me as a gift one year. And I kind of halfway wanted recently, whenever it fell, I dropped it. And then the lens got where it didn't want to retract. And so I was like, oh, maybe it'll just stop working, and then I could have an excuse to buy another camera. But then it fixed itself. So I I can't just spend money on something that's several hundreds of dollars when what I have is perfectly fine. So yeah, it started working, but now it's lost, but I know it's in here somewhere.
Yeah, I seen a few people that were talking about cars and stuff before, telling me all these different things. Get a Corvette, get this, get a Mercedes. It's like, nah, you don't understand. I have to have a seven freaking. I have to have a vehicle with a third row seat. But when like family comes and stuff like that, we drive them. Like nobody else drives around. They're all my wife's side is all Dominicans, so I have to the driver for the most part. So, and my wife doesn't want to drive. God forgive, we have to take two cars to go somewhere. So, having a vehicle, and it's also nicer. I wanted to get a pickup truck, and my wife was complaining about that because in the wintertime we get snow. I'd have to either put a tarp on the damn thing or no minivans either. I wanted to get a Sprinter van. I was trying to talk my wife into that one, but she said maybe once I get the house out of the way, maybe I can buy that toy. But those aren't cheap either. I don't want my first Mercedes to be a Sprinter van.
Why not?
I want it to be like a 500S, or I would love a G-Wagon, but those things, even like a 15-year-old G-Wagon, still like
Ronnie
20 grand.
needs a G-Wagon, like
Huh?
bumping G-Wagon with some hydraulics.
Or I'd love a Land Rover Defender 110, but they can't even import them into the America anymore because they don't put airbags in the vehicles.
Oh, yeah.
So can't get one of those either.
Very true. So did you want to address Thrift Daddy's question about how do you deal with thrift store competition going through the carts before the items are put on the shelf? Who's waiting around for them to get put on the shelf? If the cart's out there, then you dig just like they are, right?
Does he mean like at the outlets?
I think he means like, because I know at our stores they have where they bring out the stuff to put on the shelf, and there'll be some carts out there just waiting for them to distribute them to where they go. And I think that's what he's referring to. If he's referring to the outlet, then that's completely against the rules, and you just punch those people in the face. So, and I think it's in the rule guideline that like if somebody is going through the bins before they're actually supposed to be allowed to go through the bins, then you are allowed to like physically just punch them in the throat.
I mean, at the regular store, I mean, I know our store has they come out once a day usually and stock all things that are not clothing, and they have this huge like wheelie thing, and she's next to it, and she'll tell people, do not touch anything in there. So she puts it on the shelf. The one lady that does it almost every week. It's just because I think a lot of the glassware will get broken as people just smash stuff around and stuff like that.
My store puts out, well, my stores, we have lots of stores, puts out all day. I mean, they are all day long. That's why there's people that, I mean, you could actually go to a store multiple times in the same day, and you're going to find items that weren't there when you were there the first time. They put out stuff all day long. But there's nothing against any kind of rules or anything about going through the carts whenever they're on the floor. If anything, to the people that are putting it out, it just means they didn't have to put it out. You know, like you already bought it, put it in your cart.
Yeah, I think for you know, I know a few of our stores, they have to put out at least, I think the Goodwill has to put out, and we have a small Goodwill store, it's not even the big one. They have to put out 20 racks of clothing alone. So, I mean, 50 pieces on a rack probably at least. So it's like 100 pieces plus, not including shoes or anything else. I mean, 1,000 pieces. Did I say 1,000? 1,000 pieces a day.
Our stores claim, like, we have a thrift store called Thrift Town, and their whole, like, one of their slogans is that we put out 4,000 new items a week.
Yeah, it's probably about right.
Yeah.
The average thrift store, I would think. I would think 500 to 1,000 things a day. That's why I literally go to the thrift store every day. Our like local two thrift stores. And it just depends on what time of day because they put stuff out all day long. You know, it's kind of like hit or miss when you go. Be too late, too early, just never know.
Yeah, I just think honestly, I could go out every day and hit, you know, 3 to 5 stores a day, 5 days a week, and I would only hit every store twice in a month. Like, there's 50 thrift stores here, so if I went to 5 stores a day, 5 days a week, then I would hit every store, twice, right? Yeah.
How many what's the word I want to use? How many people do you have in Austin?
In the greater Austin area, which includes really close suburbs, you know, I think there's like 1.2 million.
Okay, you're definitely bigger than Boston. I think.
Yeah, it's a fairly large. Like when Chad and Kim came, they were like, "Oh, this is a really big place," you know, and I was like, "Yeah, it is kind of."
Actually, I have no idea how big Boston is.
Yeah.
That's a Google question right now. I bet it's probably like 600,000. I don't think it's, but there's nowhere near that many thrift stores near us.
Mm-hmm. So we had a question about Ronnie. When are you coming to Long Island?
I'm coming the week. Well, I'm not going to Long Island to the weekend of the 20th. So it's like the 26th and 27th. I'll be on the island.
Of June?
Oh no, 25th. 25th to the 27th, I think. Yeah, of June, later this month. And the rest of the time, the first few days, we're staying actually in New Jersey, just across from the George Washington Bridge, I believe.
Yeah, I used to date a Jamaican guy that lived in the Bronx, and so I used to go up to New York like every weekend. But I never hung around anywhere. Like, I went to Times Square one time, and then other than that, I just spent my whole time like hanging out in the Bronx, like eating fish with Jamaican guys, like, and didn't like do anything touristy at all, like not even a little bit. And like, I went to Washington D.C. once, and the only reason why I went to D.C. was to go on a date, and like I was there, like we went to an Ethiopian restaurant. And then I turned around and like went home, like to Virginia. Like I didn't go see anything in DC. So.
That's kind of funny.
I know, it's so stupid. Darlene was asking if I was gonna have a sales update for May, and I actually will. I know I've been slacking off on my videos. I didn't even finish my April sales updates, so I'm gonna do that first. I'm gonna finish out my April sales update video, and then I will do a whole entire month of May video. So it's probably going to be like a 2-hour long video. But I sold some really great stuff in May, and I just can't not talk about it because it included like my turtle, you know, my $275 plush turtle I sold, you know, stuffed animal, $275. And some other really great items that I sold, so I just can't like bypass it and not talk about it. So I'll be posting the videos, and then after that I'll be more regular about making sure that I do my sales videos. And I want to do a how-to video every week, like a helper how-to video, because there's like so many things that, you know, really need to be addressed in helping people, you know, even if it's just a short video, even if it's just like 3 minutes, like this is how you see your reimbursement report or whatever, you know, like I need to start being a better person about my videos.
A lot of my videos don't get uploaded. I have videos on my phone that I'll take, and then like a week goes by and it's kind of like I feel like it's kind of past it, you know,
not relevant anymore.
or it's something I'll show like later on. And it's like I don't want to show that video. And making videos since we've moved back to the house has become kind of more of a chore because I really don't have a designated space for you know, to do anything. You know, I'm kind of in the dining room with my desk or my makeshift desk and everything. It's a folding table, you know, with all my boxes, like 10 different box sizes are on top or under the table. I got my bubble wrap over here. I got stuff over here. So when people come over, it's kind of like a little eyesore and a little bit. We try to keep it up clean. There's a little kitchen bar area over here that I put stuff I list. I put it on the kitchen bar, and then my wife puts it away.
My husband was so happy. He came home 2 days ago, and like right outside of my office is the washer and dryer, right? And we've recently got a front load washing machine. So all that meant was that I had an additional 2 feet by 2 feet space to store shit on top. You know, so he was so excited. He's like, "Oh my God, it's clean in here." You're echoing really bad, Dave.
Am I?
Yeah.
That's not good.
But hey, Dave. They were asking in the chat, Enzo the Picker was asking about, they were asking me personally, but I know you can address it as well. He said, I know you're not in a lot of Facebook groups. What should we look out for what should we look out for to not join certain groups? I personally think it's a personal choice of yours. Like, I know that I'm not in a lot of groups that tend to have a lot of drama, or, and I know this sounds really bad, that tend to baby their members. So where people are allowed to just post pictures and go, should I buy this? You know, or they're in the store and they take a picture of the shelves and they go, do you see anything good? You know, and you're like, what? You know, so, and if they're actually, people are coming and helping them and saying, oh, look at that bottom shelf. What's that? Is that a, you know, I don't like being in groups where the members are babied, because I feel like that's not helping anyone. It's not helping them grow as a seller at all. You know, they're definitely not learning to fish. You know, you're essentially frying it up for them and sprinkling it with lemon and giving them sparkling water and telling them to sit down and eat.
Yeah, and they say the people that actually go out there and search for answers themselves are more successful than those that always ask questions.
Yeah.
I don't know if people just ask questions. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if they're just want to try to be social or talk to somebody because they're lonely. I don't know. Sometimes it's like they put a post in there. It's like, what do you think this is worth? And it's like, well, we can't look it up like everybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's, to me, when I first started, and I really thought that I was going to sell clothing. And I would sit there for hours in one store, going through the racks and looking up every single brand of every single shirt that I touched. And I would just look at the prices and look at the solds and see how saturated the market was and see if it was actually selling, you know, and if 30% of the time it was selling, and it was selling for a decent price, then I knew that was a brand that maybe I needed to pay attention to. But I looked up everything. And I still look up things. If I look at a shelf and I'm like, what's that? I don't just walk away and go, oh, I don't know what that was. You know, like, I look it up. I look up everything, you know. That's the only way you're going to learn. You're not going to, it's like trying to get through a college class, but you never open your book. You just ask your roommate, like, hey, what was that chapter you just read? What was that about? You know, like, so.
So what's up, Dave? What have you been up to? And Rudy, where'd Rudy come from?
What's up, guys?
I was looking at the bottom. I'm like, oh, everyone.
You're like,
Hey, how are you?
How's it going?
Doing well, thank you.
Am I still echoing? I want to fix that if I am.
I think you're good. It doesn't sound bad.
You sound
Okay.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right
I
now.
changed my sound settings, so I know it gets annoying. So. But no, I've just been freaking busy. That's it. Just always busy, it seems like. I think everybody's always busy, but yeah, always up late talking to China, freaking always signing stuff and doing pictures and photography, and just seems like I always got something going on.
Still going well for you?
Oh yeah, it grows every month. It grows.
Yeah.
But yeah, my next here probably this month I'm going to start focusing on getting into like the international markets. So that's kind of my goal right now, is just to get my UK company set up and get into the UK and Italy and Germany and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but you know what I'm thinking though? Every once in a while, you got to throw a video out there of you and your wife just finding some stuff. I know it's not your target market anymore, but every once in a blue moon, you know, just, you know, what's up, guys? You know, you found a couple of these things, couple of those things, just to throw one out there every once in a while. And I think it would be cool.
Need it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, I mean, it's not your specialty anymore. We get it, but for the fans who watch YouTube, I think it's needed.
It's just like when Paula Deen comes back every now and then and just makes butter biscuit. You know, like, yeah, we know you lost weight, you're good, but just make us some butter biscuits, you know?
Yeah. So you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, once I'm settled down and not so busy with everything, you know, I've just been expanding a lot lately, and we don't go to thrift stores and yard sales looking for stuff anymore. It's kind of like we're having a nice little vacation away from it. But I mean, you know, I thought about doing some videos. My brother-in-law and stuff, he comes in with a van full of stuff, you know. And one of these days I'll pin him down and be like, hey, wait, before you take it out of the van. Yeah,
exactly. What do we got here?
You know, he's just not as organized as I was. Like, I would look up everything. And because I actually attempted to film him one time because he had a whole van full of some good stuff. And I was like, so what do you got here, man? What do you got? I was like, what does that go for? He's like, I know it goes. I just, you know. And I'm like, oh man, you're ruining it. Like you're supposed to be able to tell people. I looked it up, you know. This thing goes for about $30 or so or whatever. But I'm gonna have to pin him down and be like, okay, make sure you know your numbers, man, because people want to know what this junk is worth. You know, they want to. You know, I need those haters in the comments saying, "There's no way that lid goes for $30."
You guys are liars. You're just liars.
Yeah, they're full of crap. They're just trying to make money on YouTube.
We all know that's how you got all your stuff. It's all that YouTube money.
I know, right?
Oh. Again, stomach pain.
But you'd be happy to know I actually listed 3 items last week on eBay. I took a bunch of stuff to donate down, and I'm like, that thing goes for like $80. I might as well throw it on eBay. You know, so I listed like 3 items.
Yep. It's a pain in the butt, though. You know, you got to list it.
Yeah.
But it's got to be done if that's what that's what you focus on.
Yeah, I was actually screwing it up because I was like listing on eBay. It'd been so long. I was like, I didn't know I put free shipping on that freaking thing. I thought it was calculated. You know, I'm like, I'm rusty.
99 cents free shipping.
Auction it off.
But yeah, I was thinking about doing a video on like car parts. You know, I don't think I see a lot of people talk about that. And you know, I know where I live, there's definitely money there. You know, I'm too busy to go and do it. But if somebody wanted to do it, they could totally make some really good money. You know, if you have like a pick apart.
Oh yeah.
Close to you, if you have a pick apart that's reasonable. I mean, there's got to be certain circumstances depending on where you live. Where I live, there's like 3 or 4 different pick aparts, and you just kind of you pay $1 to go in, and you just walk around all these cars, and you can pull parts off, and their prices are pretty reasonable. You know, you could go and pull like a AC compressor, right? You can pull an AC compressor, and they'll be like $30. Well, you can take that AC compressor, especially right now, and you can sell it for around 100 on eBay. You could take a lot of stuff like relays and fuses and little stuff like that's free. You could just take it if you want it. If you want to, like if you look up, there's just certain parts. You know, you can go up to like a car, and while you're at the wrecking yard, you can pull open your phone and you can just type in that year of car and search in parts and accessories and search under used. And you could pull up like all these different parts, like, oh, look at this bezel, it goes for $80. And then if you're unsure of what they're going to charge you, you can just take your phone out and call up at the front, you know, and be like, how much you guys charge for bezels? And, you know, here it's like, oh, $15. So, I mean, there's just a sea of money. You know, you could sell little knobs for $15, $20 off like little knobs inside the car. They got certain like master relays that go for like $40, and those are free where I'm at. Just all kinds of stuff. I'm just amazed. You can even buy cars. You can buy. People will be like, for parts or repair, sell a whole car to you. If you got room where you live, you could park a car in your backyard and strip it every day, pull 10, 15 parts off, and throw them on eBay. I mean, you can get like $300 to $500 just for airbags.
Yeah, see, that type of business, they don't have anything like that by me.
Oh, we
Yeah.
have several.
They got junkyards, and that's it. You pay per piece, whatever their retail price is. There's no such thing like a pick apart around these parts.
Yeah, we have several, and I've heard people talk about that. I've gotten so in the state of mind of doing parts over the last couple of years that I've done parts. Like I have my washing machine that we've just replaced, and it's sitting outside on the porch, and my husband was like, well, what are we going to do with this washing machine? And I was like, well, it still works. It just needs 2 parts that need to be replaced. And I'm just thinking of all the parts that are on that machine, gaskets and bolts and this and that, and I'm like, well, I'm going to part the damn thing out is what I'm going to end up doing, and pretty soon you're going to see a Whirlpool knob, on eBay for me, because my brain is always thinking parting things out, to the point that sometimes I part things out that didn't need to be parted out. Like I could have just sold it whole, but my brain always just thinks parts, piece, 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 Well, why did I do that? I should have just sold the whole damn box.
Yeah, we
Like
used to do
that sewing machine. I spent a whole day pretty much parting out a sewing machine, and when it was all said and done, I was like, that was so stupid. I should have just sold the sewing machine,
You're stupid, Dad.
I'm
Yeah, it depends on what you're parting out. Yeah, it really depends on what you're parting out.
Yeah.
I mean, like those Keurigs. I mean, you can tear those things open and like part out the motors, and there's some people that do that. And I'm like, just sell the whole damn Keurig, or just sell the stuff that you can pull off of it in 2 seconds. You know what I mean?
The price of them has gone up. The price of an entire Keurig has gone right back on up, and you can sell some of those older model Keurigs for $40 or $50 that weren't selling for that much just a year or so ago. And yeah, I've gutted a Keurig, and there's just no reason to do it. It's just not worth your time.
What would you sell? Like a tank? What would you really sell on that?
The tank, the drip tray, the puncture needle, the handle, the reservoir lid, and that's about it at this point. But I did gut one. I mean, I took the pumps out, I took the motor out, I took the heater out, I have a really long, really boring video all about parting out a Keurig.
Yeah, a lot of work to get into that. When we used to part out the Keurigs, you know, when they didn't work or just anything, you know, if it was missing something, we start to just pull the parts off and we'd part them out. I'd look and yeah, you could sell the pumps and all that stuff. But I opened one up, I looked at it and I said, I'm not doing all that work. I would just throw the base away and then freaking part the other things out if I had to. You know?
Ton of work. And I'm wondering why the people, as a normal person, who in the hell is buying a suction pump, taking apart their machine and going, okay, I'm going to put this part in. You paid $15 for the part, and then you're going to take your own machine apart and replace that part that's going to take you 2 hours. Buy a new machine.
Yeah, I could see trying to salvage your investment back if you buy something for somewhat decent amount of money and it's not in working order. All right, you know what? Let me recap my investment. Let me see if I can pull it apart. Let me sell this off it. Even to break even if you can.
Such a pain, though.
I know it is. I know it. Believe me. But if I buy a video game system for $40 with games or whatever, and the system doesn't work, all right, let me piece it apart. At least let me get my investment back.
It's not even worth it sometimes. I mean, the time that you're going to spend to try to get back your original investment, unless your original investment was $1,000, you know, if you're just trying to get back 30 or 40 bucks, man, the time that you spend doing it, you could have bought something else for $5 or $10 and listed it and sold it for 80 and gone on about your day. You know, it's not worth your time at this point.
It's the feeling of loss is what it is. You know, people notice it with everybody. If you go out and you lose $5 or $20, we'll say $20. It's painful. You know, you think about it throughout the day. You're like, man, I lost $20. You tell everybody I lost $20. But I mean, if you made an extra $20 one day, it's not that exciting. So people in general they put more emotion towards loss than they do gains. You know what I mean? It hurts more if you lose $1,000. If you make $1,000, it's like, oh, okay, I made $1,000. You know, you're happy about it. I'm not saying you're not, but the emotional feeling you have on the loss is way higher than the emotional like happiness you feel from the game.
Yeah, I went through that last year. That's what I'm actually supposed to be on if I'll actually submit my stuff on time today on eBay Radio. They wanted me to follow up on last year when I did my List It or Forget It challenge, where I was basically getting all of my stuff that I had back over there. I went on a buying freeze, and I was like, I am going to make my money back. You know, I've got hundreds and hundreds of dollars in this room. I am going to make my money back. And so I sat there and I listed all of the smalls, you know, all of those things that I wasn't excited about anymore, all of that stuff that I just didn't care about anymore, and put up those things, $12.95, $9.95, all of, you know, and just sat there and just busted out listings. I think I put up 225 or 240 brand new listings over that time frame. And when it was all over with, the only thing that I learned from it was that I totally wasted my time. If I would have put that much effort,
right?
I mean, just busting out listings, and I went out and bought brand new inventory, you know, went to the thrift stores and found really great stuff, and came home and listed it like I was listing that BS, I would have sold $10,000. You know, but instead I was sat here and I put all of this work into listing leftovers. You know, it wasn't worth it. I should have just donated it and started over, because I would have made so much more money with the time that I was using. Now, it would be different if, let's just say, I didn't have the money. You know, I didn't have the money to go out and buy new things, you know, so I had to work with what I had, or maybe I didn't have very good stores to go source at or whatever, you know, that would have been a different story. But I have amazing stores. I can go out every single day and just find some really great stuff. So for me to sit back and list the leftovers, it was a total waste of my time. I'll never do it again. I will donate it. Or just like I did where I did the garage sale. And I did my garage sale and I made $1,000 in one day. So no more listing the junk for me. Matter of fact, no more buying junk. You know, how about we just not buy junk? That would be great too.
That's another thing. I don't know. I've been trying to pick up a lot of more higher dollar selling things. I don't know. I'm just tired of the nickel and diming junk that comes along. You know, it just sits. A lot of that stuff is just sits forever. It's like, oh, I can get it for $1, and then you're sitting on it forever trying to sell it for $20, and then you load your store up with it, and then you're like, hey.
That's a good point, actually. You know, it's even like, you know, you can buy something, you'll know it'll eventually sell, you'll make money on it, but do you really want to hold out for it that long? You know, I definitely think about it these days. Is it worth me waiting this long, sitting on it for this long? I know it's going to take 6 months to sell. You know, and when you got to think about room and storage and, you know, what you should, you know, could be buying next, you know, that's my mindset now. You know what I mean? I could pick up something. I used to be a vacuum. I'd buy anything I can get my hands on. Now I'm like, dude, you know what? Am I going to sit on this for 6 months? Is it worth me buying it now, storing it, waiting 6 months, or just try and find something else? So me personally, I've been trying to get better items, you know, if I can, and passing up that stuff that I can, you know, sell on the mediocre side.
Yeah, I think I have my thing is my limit now is trying to be like $30, $35 and above, and I mean there's certain things that you pick up that are lower than that. You're not 100% sure. You pick it up, and you know it happens. But I really try to stay with certain dollar things, you know, and just put a lot of. I don't know. I don't research, and that's half my problem. But I'm very quick to throw stuff away. I mean, redonate stuff, or just get rid of it. It's not worth my time.
What I learned is that the longer I spend in a store, the more prone I am to pick up lower profit margin items. So the longer I'm actually in the store, if I'm in a thrift store for longer than like half an hour, I'm going to keep doing what I call pecking for profits, where I'm just kind of just pecking around like, oh, well, I can sell this for $20. I can sell that for $20. And I'm really just trying to kind of scoop out the bottom of all the profit when I should have just left the store. You know, I should have just found I should have just found the stuff. The things that I put in my cart the first 30 minutes, they're the best stuff. And then after that, I just need to leave. Because if I spend any more time in there,
you're right.
I'm just picking up, you know, I'm lowering my standards the longer I'm in there.
Mm-hmm. What can I grab now? You know, I've been in there for an hour. What can I grab now just to try and make money? Yeah. And I think it's the worst decision, right?
Yeah. So what I'm trying to do from now on is literally spend 20 to 30 minutes in a store, and that's when you're going to find the best stuff. And then leave and go to another store, you know, and do the same thing there, 20, 30 minutes there, and leave and go to another store. Come home and list the stuff, do it again tomorrow, you know. Otherwise, you're just going to come home with a carload of things, 5 really great things, and then a bunch of crap that you're going to end up putting into a dead pile and then never getting around to it because you're going to go shopping again tomorrow and list those 5 really great things you found, and then add more stuff to your death pile. You know.
That's actually a very good point.
Yep. So that's where I'm at right now, because, I mean, you can see I've got plenty of stuff, and it's not because, and there's some really great stuff over there. The problem is I get overwhelmed when I get too much stuff around me, and it's all kind of closing in on me. I get where I'm like, I can't work. You know, I'm just like, I can't, you know. I'm overwhelmed, and I shut down, and then I just leave the room. Like, I don't want to be in here anymore. It's kind of crowded.
Yeah, I think that's really important too. I mean, when I was you know, it was you would go out and look for stuff and see. I would always every time I went out, I would always find stuff. You know, I didn't. You know, when I would make a YouTube video and stuff, that wasn't like the best day. That was just a day that I decided to film, and if I had a good day or a great day, but it was always at least a decent day. So I have basically a sea of stuff that I can get. So, you know, after a while, when you first start, you have this habit of kind of grabbing anything you can make money on, right? Like, why leave it? You're like, I can make money on that, I can make money on that, I can make money on that. And after a while, especially if you're in an area to where every time you go out, you get enough. Like you can just go out every day and have too much to where you don't even have the time to list it. So then you have to start being pickier. You have to start going, okay, I'm going to only get items that I can make this much on, or only items that sell for over $20 or more. You know, and once you start doing that, then what you're doing is you're maximizing your money that you make per hour, right? You're basically getting paid more per hour now. You're making more money with the time that you have. And there is some people out there that may not have that option. Maybe they have a limited supply, or the thrift stores just really suck or something. Then they have to pick up those things. They have to get those items where they can make $5 or $10 because they can't get enough to list. They have more time available to them. And I always tell people it's like fishing in a pond, right? If you go to a pond and you fish, and you pull out a fish every 5-10 seconds, every time you throw it in, you pull out a fish, you're going to throw the little ones back, and you're going to keep just the big ones. But if you go out there and you're sitting around and you only get a fish every hour, you're going to keep every fish you get.
Yeah, that's the point I was making earlier, you know, about when I said I wasted my time, you know, that, yeah, I wasted my personal time, but if I didn't have the sourcing available to me, if I was in a town that only had 2 or 3 stores, or they didn't have very good stuff, or maybe they were overpriced or whatever, you know, it's dependent on people's markets. And yeah, I mean, fortunately I have the luxury of being able to be very picky about what I pick up, because if they don't have anything good there, I can just go right on down the street.
Mm-hmm. And I know people like that too, that'll go into a thrift store, kind of like what you were talking about, and they'll be in there for hours. I mean, yeah. It's like an hour and a half in one thrift store, and it's the same thrift store as I used to go into, and I'd be in and out of there really quick, kind of like you said. I'd go in, I'd look for the best stuff, I'd walk out. I wouldn't go through like every clothes rack and every stack of CDs and every stack of VHSs and, you know, whatever else you're looking for. But I see this person, and they go in there, and they, like I used to go to the outlet, right, our weigh-in pays, and we would get there about 9:30, and we'd be done by about noon. Okay, so I mean, we get there at 9:30, they open at 10, so we were there for a couple hours, and we'd take off. But this same person would be there till 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's like they have to find and suck, you know, every little thing they can make a couple dollars off of, and what it does is it prevents them from going back out the next day and getting more valuable stuff because they got to list it all.
And that's been a hard lesson for me, because I don't list it all, you know, and then that's how I end up with hundreds of items that are not listed, you know, that I've had around for 6 months to a year, because I want to go out and find the treasures. That's fun. That's the fun part of this business. And that's what happens is people want to do the fun, you know, but then they end up with all of these, you know, all this stuff that they were kind of grasping at the profits, and then, well, they don't want to list it now because it's not as fun, and I want to go out and buy more fun stuff, and then you end up like me. Don't be like me. Just don't be like me. I'm a bad example.
Oh God. I list everything I get. It gets listed very fast, usually within a few days, if not. Especially if it's something good, like, I hate if it's sitting for like a day. I know I can get money for it. It's like, honey, take pictures of it, clean it up, let's go. You got one job, to clean something. Well, to get it ready for pictures, like prep and stuff. Get it done, let's go. Want to get it listed?
I'm really awful about it, and I have items that, I mean, like, oh, that's $80, and that's $70, and that's another $80, and it's just like, and I've had it for 6 months, because the shine wore off,
I did that with that Bakelite green telephone I had. I had it sitting around for like 2 months, and then as soon as I listed it, sold overnight for $425. And I'm
I
like,
know, and you feel like an asshole because you've had the thing sitting around for 4 months. Like, why didn't I list it?
Because you're making too much money. You don't need it.
No, I do need the money, and that's why I feel like a jerk. Because I'm like, I sit around here like I don't I got all this money flowing out my butt or something, like, and I don't. I've got things that cost. I have 4 kids. I've got things that cost. My daughter graduated today. She's gonna, be needing things for college. I got 2 kids going into high school. I've got, like, I got bills.
Got bills to pay, kid.
Can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone bill? Can you pay my other bill?
Now, Ron, there was a question asking when you're going to visit New York, you're going to hit any of the weigh-in pays?
no, the only way and pay I know that I can think of down that area of New York is in Long Island City. And
Yeah, I can't.
I think you need to wear a vest and you can be strapped up going in there. Get a shake.
I personally can't hang in those places. It's just not for me.
My anxiety won't let me. Like, I can't deal with them. Like, I'm like, ugh.
We went to a few. There's one in Boston. It's right next to a huge Goodwill, and they have the Goodwill outlet next to it. It's so small, though. It's not. I mean, I've been to a few. I've been to that one a few times. I've been to the one in Orlando. It's on Orange Blossom Road, I think, and
Yeah.
that was brand new and was really clean and nice. But I didn't have much luck, and went to the one in Portland, Maine, by myself too.
Dude,
But didn't find nothing.
I just can't picture myself in there. I get bent out of shape. When someone goes 3 or 4 feet in front of me on the same clothing rack. I get mad. If I was in a weigh-in pay, forget about it. I'd be clotheslining people.
Dude, it's kind of like really, because you got to be careful too, because a lot of those, there's just some nasty shit in those things, man.
Well, I went to one, and the person had their little baby just sitting in the middle of the bin eating a thing of Cheetos.
Oh my god.
And I was like, what the hell is going on?
The one in
That was
Boston.
that was the last time I went, and it was really funny because there were some other, like, resellers there, obviously. And I'm looking through the bins, and I found an i5, like, brand new in the case, and I had been wanting one. And I had bought one, but I bought the wrong kind. And so I saw it, and I was like, ooh, yay! And then I just kind of ran away, and the guy just, like, followed me around to try to see what it was that I had found that I was so excited about. Because I was like, ooh, yay! Just, like, ran off with my little thing. Yeah, people are gross there. They built a food court in ours. Like, it has a food place. Like, yeah, it's open 24 hours now.
That's crazy.
It's a 24-hour weigh-in pay.
Wow.
That is
That
crazy.
is really.
Yeah, and I still don't go. Like, I'm
That's
still not
crazy.
interested in.
I'd be the one going at like the plate right now, honey. Let's go. It's 11 o'clock. Ain't that many people there.
You leave the club. You're all drunk. Like, let's go to the weigh-in pay.
Well, I did go to that one in Vegas, and actually, you were saying that I should make a video about picking. I did not that long ago. I've come to think, I just went to Vegas and went to the weigh-in pay down there.
Oh, is that the one where you with Wesley?
Yeah, I met up with Wes, and he said, "Well, I guess if you want to meet up, I'll show you this weigh-in pay over here." I'm like, "Okay," and yeah, it definitely wasn't like the one here where I'm at. This is the best one I've been to. Because I've been to some Goodwill weigh-in pays in different places, and they're okay, and you can get stuff cheap, but the one here, I mean, for one, their prices are less. Two, it seems like the staff there, It's like a staff at the Goodwill ones, they're all angry. They're like angry women. Like all the people, like when I walked into that one, the lady's like, "Sir, you can't, sir, sir," and I'm like, I look over, she's like, "You are not allowed to record. Put the phone down. Put the phone down." And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, and then you come up with your cart, and they're like going, "No, no, no, you need to put it over here, over there, over there," and they're just like going nuts, and like every one of them, it was like they're having a bad day, and they were screaming at people like. Make sure you need to put your kid in that cart. You can't have your kid on the outside of the cart. And just all kinds of crazy. They were just running around screaming at people the whole time. And I'm like, man, these people are so angry. Why are they so angry? It was horrible.
One that we have in Boston, it's not in the best area. So you get kind of the crazy people there to begin with, small and I don't know, we went there a few times when we first started, and it was okay for like books and stuff like that, because that's where I was kind of more interested in when I first started, because Amazon was bigger attraction to me at that point. But I just quickly grew out of going through books. It was like, nope, nope. It was like, okay, there's got to be something better than this. This is going to drive me crazy. And I went to clothing, which is probably not much better. No, 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 no. It's like, dude, I need to find something better, something to keep me more interested.
Yeah.
But it's kind of,
I don't know. Maybe I should go to my outlet and just kind of walk around and show everybody it. It's massive, you know. And the way they would do it is, you get there in the morning, and they'd have like, if you were a regular, you could look at the bins, the big Gaylord wooden bins and stuff, and you could just tell, okay, that line over there is new. You know, okay, those 3 lines are all new. And they got an inside and an outside. So everybody would just kind of run in and just kind of spread out. At that Goodwill place, it was a lot smaller. You know, their warehouse in the back was big, but it was all small, like a little room kind of, you know. And then they would bring stuff out like every 30 minutes with sheets on it and roll it out. And then they pull the sheets off, and you got everybody in the whole place is trying to get to that one little line. So everybody's like, you know, just everybody. And at the one I'm at, it gets like that because the regulars know which ones are the new ones, especially if there's not a lot of new stuff they put out. But for the most part, there's the inside, there's the outside, there's everybody spread out. You can be in your own bin for a while before somebody comes up and starts bugging you. But there's definitely people that get crazy. I mean, I almost got in a few fights, for sure, because I don't take no shit from nobody. So, you know, when they come up and they act all like, "What are you doing? That's mine," and I'm like, "Really?" You know, or they would bark at my wife or something, and I'd be like, you know, let's go out in the parking lot. Come on, let's go right now. Like, that's just how I am, you know.
Dude,
But
try and touch somebody's try and touch somebody's shopping cart. You know, when they have this stuff in there, forget about it. It's like a pit bull, bro. It's snapping at you.
Yeah.
That's my stuff. That's mine.
I'm always like, oh, you know, the stuff in the carts is stuff that's already sold, just so you know. And they go, oh, okay, I'm sorry. I never get really upset unless people are being sneaky trying to steal stuff. But no, one guy, we used to call him Tree Eater. And I don't know why. He just looked like he ate trees. I don't know. He's like this big Bigfoot-looking guy. Looked like he was homeless, big old stringy hair, real ugly, like, Bigfoot face. And he would, like, get stuff and put it in a pile. And if somebody went over to his pile, he would scream from across, like, this whole parking lot and start, like, running at his stuff, going, "Get away from my stuff! Get away from my..."
That's mine! My pile!
So we start going, man, he's like a big tree eater, and we're like, yes. From then on out, we always called him Tree Eater. He would like want to beat people down. That guy was crazy.
That's funny. That is funny.
It's usually the hoarders that get real defensive about their stuff, you know.
yes.
I got a creeper in here trying to see if I'm finished yet because today is apparently National Donut Day and we live a block from Krispy Kreme. And I made the suggestion earlier today that we would go get a donut. And yeah, so she's like, "Are you finished?" Her and her little friend. Are you finished yet?
She wants a donut. Alrighty. Well, I mean, you can take your little lady to get her donuts.
Nah, it stays open till like 11.
Does it? Oh, you're at a different time than I am.
I just wanted to mention, I'm not sure if anybody's from the Philly area, but I'll be at the Comic-Con this Sunday. If you guys are going, say what's up.
Where are you going to be? I'll type it in the... Where are you going to be?
It's Comic-Con in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Comic-Con. My sister's up in Dallas doing some kind of something. She's wearing purple. I know that. She looks like a purple red Riding Hood.
Nice.
Yes, sir. I'm trying to look here. What else do we have? Did anybody else have a question? Somebody asked me if I'd ever get an office again. My goal is to buy a house here very shortly and have enough space to where the barn, I'm looking for houses with barns, so I can build the barn into a business space. So that's basically what I want to do with that. I could see renting an office if I get a smaller house, because I hate having this stuff in the house, really, to tell you the truth. You still have your warehouse, right, Dave? Or?
Yeah, I still have it. I don't. I mean, I use it mainly for kind of my workspace. I go there, I set up my computer, I sit there and work on stuff. I still use my photo setup because I do some product photography. A lot of times I take my own product photography and then I have a photo person like edit it and do my images for me. But just the main product photography, different angles, I do all that. And I do store a little bit of inventory there, just because on initial orders, a lot of times I like to have it come to me first, just to make sure everything's okay. But I also split it, of course, with my mom and my brother. So they pay part of the rent there. They're still doing eBay. So they're using, our ship station, test station, our shrink wrap station. They're using everything.
Right on.
Dave, I think your next goal should be to be fluent in Asian.
Fluent in Asian?
Asian is not a language. I'm all fluent in like Central American. I can speak all the Central American.
Yeah, I speak Canadian.
Be nice, be nice.
I speak Canadian.
Heather says that she's taking Jason T. Smith's workshop in Philly tomorrow morning.
He has a workshop?
I guess that's what she said in the chat.
Taking Jason T. Smith's workshop in Philly.
Yeah, and that he did a show earlier today in Philly. So, yes, he's got something big going on there. I should keep better track, but I don't keep up with much of anybody. I barely can keep up with myself.
Yeah, I just try to stay in contact with people. That's about it.
There's only so much keeping, there's only so many people you can talk to in a daily, and then it kind of, there's like 4 or 5 people I talk to almost every day at one course of the day, but after that it kind of, there'll be somebody that you see, you're like, oh my god, I haven't talked to those in like 6 months or something like that, and you're like, wow, time flies,
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're like telling the same story like 45 times. It's like, thank God for copy and paste, or man, we just really
Tell the same thing to everybody.
You've seen people that copy and paste their conversations because they forget about the emoticons, and it just says smile face emoticon where it was supposed to have the actual like happy face. You're like, you copied and pasted that whole conversation from somebody else.
Just hire a VA. Hire a VA to do it for you.
To keep up with your friends.
Yeah.
Just make sure they're fluent in Asian.
Hire a VA that can handle your dating profile for you, pre-screen all the applicants. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to head out, guys. I'm going to take these girls to go get some donuts. Donuts! And,
Alrighty.
Do that, Deb.
and thanks for having me on, Ronnie. I love you guys. I'll see
Thanks
y'all
for
later.
coming on.
Bye,
Take care.
everybody.
See you later.
Bye.
Yes. I'm not gonna, we got about maybe 10 more minutes and then I'm gonna have to go to, as the ladies are, I think they're watching me. But trying to think if there was anything else. Anything else anybody want to talk about?
No, not unless there's any. Oh, look, there's somebody from Idaho. That's Idaho Falls Picker. He actually put a comment on my video last time.
Are you far from Idaho Falls? Idaho Falls.
Yeah, yeah.
Idaho. I wonder what. Idaho is that long state, right? That's like very small at one side, and it's like a
Yeah.
triangle almost in a way.
Yeah, right next to Oregon and Washington.
Yeah. Well, Washington. I think it's Washington. Yeah, Washington was a very big state because I remember talking to Spokane pickers one day, and then it's like my wife's cousin moved. They moved like north of Seattle, and I was like, "Oh yeah, come out that way." And I'm looking at a map, and I'm like, "Wait, hold on." I was like, "That's very far away."
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, never mind."
Hey, Ron, I'm going to actually jump off, too.
All right.
Dave, good talking to you, buddy.
Yeah, you too, man. It's good to see you again.
You too, buddy.
Alrighty. Oh. Yeah, I gotta finish doing something and get ready for tomorrow for some yard sales, and then start looking at trucks.
Oh,
Need
yeah.
a new
yard
truck.
sales. Yeah, I was saying we just did a yard sale last weekend for 4 days. I hate doing yard sales. People are like, I made this much money. Well, yeah, but you got to sit out there all weekend and wheel and deal with people, and I don't know. I just don't. It's not worth my time. But I was trying to get rid of all the old eBay crap that was left over. And plus my mom had a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, let's just do a yard sale. And plus my warehouse is like in a really good location for a yard sale. It's by all like the busy roads. So I was like, all right, we can do one. But when I have a yard sale, people always always ask me if I'm sure. Like when I give them a price, they're like, how much? I'm like, $5. They're like, really? Are you sure? They're like, how much? I'm like, quarter? They're like, are you sure? I mean, I'm almost tempted when they say that to be like, go up in price, be like, okay, $10. Because they're just so like shocked that I would sell something so cheap, because I basically give it away, because I'm not trying to do it for the money. I'm just like, I don't want to have to haul all this stuff down to donations, and I don't want to deal with it anymore. So if you want to pay me and you'll take it, that's great.
Yeah, I've never had a yard sale before, and I hate yard sales that don't price their stuff.
I didn't price nothing. I did
because you just don't know how they're gonna. You'll like start to gather a few things, and you're like all of a sudden start to wonder like what their price is gonna be. So you're like, can I get a price on this?
Yeah.
And then they're like, either they're too high or they're reasonable, and then you start looking about anything else that you could add to your pile. And you're like, hold on.
Well, see, yeah, I didn't want to. We had a bunch of stuff out there. I didn't want to price anything, so I was just like, when people were looking at stuff, I'm like, hey, books are 25 cents, and they're like, oh, okay. And then they'd be looking at like the CDs. I'm like, 10 for $1, take them, 10 for $1. And then that's when they started like having like big handfuls of stuff. You know, they were like, man, this guy's cheap. But I mean, I think we pulled in 4 days, we made like $600. You know, we got like $600 and almost all the crap went. On the very last like 2 hours on Monday, we put a sign out there that says everything a quarter. And then finally people started coming up and we started giving them boxes saying, fill a box for $1. And they were like, really? So they just were piling stuff up. But it was great because, like I said, we had very little to donate after that, very little, and we had a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and my wife wants to do a yard sale for like the craziest thing, and I just don't even understand why. But we can't have one where we are because we live in a condo, and it's like in the association thing that you can't do that. So they're actually trying to set it up at a friend's house, and I'm like, they're like, oh, we can just set up one table and have all that stuff. I'm like, you're gonna have people pick up one thing from you, one thing from this one, and they're gonna want to put them together. You guys are just gonna have like, I can see this getting messy. I was like, I'll give you some stuff. There's some stuff in the storage that I don't need that I don't feel like putting on eBay either, just because it doesn't bring enough for me to put it on eBay to deal with shipping it, but I'll blow it out at a yard sale, or there's some value in it that I don't want to give it away.
Yeah.
But our storage unit's getting kind of full, and it's yard sale season. We keep picking up more stuff to put in it, and there's not much coming out of it. So.
Yeah, we kept a little binder, and you know, basically we collected all the money, and then if it wasn't ours, we just wrote down what it sold for on that person's name. But yeah, it worked out pretty good. I'm glad it's over. I got a little burnt, and yeah, it was hot.
All right, I don't think we're gonna cut this short, but it was good seeing you, Dave, and talking to you.
Yeah, you too, man. You too. See you later, everybody. Go out there and make some money.
Yes, make sure to hit that like button, and see you all later. Have a good night.